Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Wherever you checking out the show from, what's happening? It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense, and I'm do just that tonight. If you can, please hit that like button, share my videos. But first things first, let's make sure that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? One, two. I want the knife, please. So can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can. And then we're going from there, because this way I can get that troubleshooting out the way. These mics can be temperamental at times. Somebody said, yeah, okay, all right. Somebody said the thumbs up. Okay, good. So with that being said, this number 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, this way we can stay in touch just in case something strange happens in my neighborhood. Yeah. And also, if you want to contribute or participate in my monthly fundraiser, the link is below this video. It's just a quick click, and then, do whatever you want to do. I appreciate all of that stuff, because the man ain't putting nothing in my hand, so I'm relying on the people. And with that being said, let me get loose so I can give these folks a black eye again tonight. Ah, man. My knuckles are bruised from punching them in their face. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. Yep, and I'm probably going to turn green tonight because we got some stupidity that is going on around the country, man. And I'm talking 100% uncut stupidity. Starting with, of course, one of my sore topics, immigration. Oh, I forgot. Look at this. Somebody emailed me this, y'all. Somebody done picked up some merch from the Kev's Corner. Look at that. Sleepy, creepy, sloppy Joe has to go. They said they are so thankful and satisfied. And look at that. 47 rather. The boss. So you know what you got to do. Go to the store. Get something. Now, well, y'all, the Big Apple is rotten. That Big Apple done became rotten. And it's rotten because of Democrat leadership. So let's check out what's going on with the Big Apple and see if we can pull some of the worms out of it. Who knows? So here we go.
A new report in the New York Post finds a record number of NYPD officers resigning this year, with more than 200 officers already tapping out in the first 2 months of this year.
The first 2 months of the tapping out? No mas? They tapping? Are you kidding me? The big crapple? Well, that's not a good thing. So let me understand. Crime increases, more illegal immigrants come, and less police officers. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that right there sounds like an equation for failure. 100% chaos. We are literally going to be looking at New York like the real Escape from New York with Kurt Russell and my man Isaac the Hayes. Which I'm kind of looking like in my older age. You know what I'm saying? I love Isaac, man. I am the Duke of New York. So that's what the big crapple is about to be looking like if these police keep resigning.
Fox 5's Ashley Rodriguez asked the mayor about the exodus.
Public safety is a prerequisite to our prosperity.
Yet public safety's first line of defense in the city, its police officers, are resigning at a record level in 2023, according to a new report from the New York Post, which found 239 officers quit this year, a 117% increase compared to the same period over the last 2 years, the highest number of resignations since 2007.
Wow, I wish I could whistle even louder. Good grief. So now I wonder what could be contributing to these police officers quitting. Could it be being overworked and underappreciated? Could it be that? Could it be that they are making their jobs even harder by bringing in more and more illegal immigrants, which now you got to police regular criminals and then keep your eye on illegal immigrants and all of that, while, of course, cutting the budget? Could it be that? Could it be the fact that these major cities spent so much time demonizing police, calling them racist, trying to figure out ways to defund them, to make their job even harder? Could it be that? Because right now, there are two positions in the U.S. that used to be honorable. But honestly, under Democrat leadership, I don't even see how anybody could take a position of a police officer or a border patrol agent. Those are two jobs, man. I'm like, look, unless you're going to give me free reign to operate like I need to operate and do what I got to do, I can't take this job. I need to be off the radar because I got to do some things to pull this mess back together. But based on what these folks are doing right now, you might go ahead and say, excuse me, sir, could you step off the street? And next you know, you're looking at some time. Well, all I did was kind of guide the guy off the street. Yeah, but you touched a black man. Yeah, and you're a white man. And see, and your white privilege, you know, you just felt like you put your hands on that black man, shove him out the street. I'm pretty sure you called him a boy. Could you get out the street, boy? Now you're looking at 13 years in the slammer. See, so nobody wants these kind of problems. So these folks are walking away, and look at all these people in New York. What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Last year, the NYPD saw just over 3,700 officers retire, the most since 9/11.
We have a law enforcement crisis in this city, and in this country, and it's serious.
And the Democrats created the law enforcement crisis by using it as a method of dividing the country and creating a whole bunch of radical, angry, mad-for-nothing protesters to go out and tear down cities. That's why we got a crisis. See, Democrats ruin everything. Same thing with the military. As we're having a hard time recruiting military people. Could it be because you're trying to feminize the military and talking about some, no, we're going to get helmets to fit all the different hairstyles of female fighter pilots, and we're going to get a fighter pilot suit for pregnant women. Could it be that? See, this is what kills me. They sit back and they create an atmosphere that is unwelcoming, and people don't want to be a part of that. You're joining something on, look, the job itself brings stress, and it's a risk. I don't need the people who are hiring me to be an enemy as well. That might stick me in my back at any time, throw me under the bus, make the public look at me as if I'm a threat constantly to them. So now you're putting a target on my back. Now all of a sudden I pull somebody over that might be saying, okay, well, it's probably a routine pullover or whatever. But because they've been brainwashed for a year or two that anytime a white cop pull you over, a cop, period, it's because you're black and it's because you're... Now you create all of these situations here that make the job even more stressful. Same thing down at the border. I would be like, nah, man, this ain't a good time. When Trump get back in, then I'll put my application in. But not under these creeps.
Several months later,
Workers making it known that they are not happy with the mayor's budget cuts. No department was spared, not even the NYPD, which will now have the lowest number of employees in decades.
Fox 5's Antoine Lewis joins us now in the studio with a look at those cuts and which are the most upsetting. Antoine.
It's Natasha, police, fire department of sanitation, even library services. So it just depends upon the person. The mayor warned in advance that the cuts were coming, and they're hurting a little bit more than most were expecting.
Money, 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 money. Money. They are running out of money. Now, how'd that happen? That's my question. Could it be Democrat policies? One thing leads to another. I watched AOC talking to one of her constituents, asked her about all these illegal immigrants, and she blamed it on Republican governors. Never stopped for 1 second to say, you know what? If these people weren't coming through the border, they wouldn't have the opportunity to make it appear. Yeah. She's talking about defunding the border states. And they had the nerve to declare New York was a border state, y'all. That's dumbness at work, man. She claimed New York was a border state because people fly in. People fly in, see. And I'm thinking to myself, well, those aren't illegal immigrants flying into the airport, see. That's the difference. These people are traveling from all the way down there at the southern border all the way to New York. So you're not a border state. You guys unleash this problem in our country, and you're trying your best to keep your voters ignorant to the real source. See, they're trying to blame it on budget cuts. They're saying, you know what, we need more support from the government. We need more money. We need more this and that. No, y'all need to shut that border down and you wouldn't be having these problems.
Care not press!
Oh.
Care
What?
A mix of frustrated New Yorkers and elected officials found common ground Friday, demonstrating inside of City Hall Park in protest of news coming out of City
Care
Hall.
not cuts.
During these tough times, we should not be balancing the budget on the backs of the poorest New Yorkers.
The Care Not Cuts rally was in direct response to the budget cuts announced by the Adams administration earlier this week.
But New York has a
5%
brand.
across the board, totaling upwards of $4 billion, impacting every city agency, including public safety.
$4 billion? $4 billion. Too buku. So, brother. No, too buku. So you telling me $4 billion and you got Mayor Peanut Head. New York has a brand. Yeah, that went right down the toilet. You know, you can't give away some property right now in New York. I'd be like, nah, man, I'm good. Well, this is prime real estate. No, No, but I mean, we're literally giving it to you. Don't want it. Don't want it, man. Somehow some trouble will come out of something free from y'all. So $4 billion and Mayor Peanut Head has to tiptoe around the Biden administration lest he get locked up on some trumped up charges. Now, the best he can do right about now is to just declare he's now a Republican and start running New York like a Republican. That's it. And hopefully the Republican people could take care of him and protect him from the Biden administration. I would straight cry wolf. This is a good time for him to embrace his identity politics. If I was Mayor Peanut Head, I'd be like, they're coming after me because I'm black. The Biden administration is targeting me because I called them out on all of the immigration and told them they need to close the border. And this is just nothing more than an attack on me. And I'm about to convert to Republican, and I'm going to go ahead and stop sanctuary cities. I'm going to increase our police officers, and I'm going to crack down on crime and clean it up like Mayor Giuliani did. And watch the people celebrate that. Watch them celebrate that. So he's in trouble right now. He might as well switch teams or continue to do stuff like this, and then we'll be watching a real life Escape from New York.
To that end, the cuts will mean the NYPD having less than 30,000 employees for the first time in decades. And the next 5 classes of new officers would be postponed.
Oh, wow. So that is tough, man. New York, y'all in trouble. I'm telling you, this is a good time to escape from New York before you have to flee for your life. And this is a good time to tiptoe out before the crap hits the fan. So less money, less police officers, more migrants. Interesting. Sometimes you get what you deserve. Before he was out there talking about, you know what, I've never had a problem that I couldn't solve, but I don't see an end to this. Before he was doing all of that, Mayor Peanut was out there talking about, we're going to embrace these people. We're going to make sure that they have places to stay. We're a sanctuary city. We're welcoming, all of that. So now you got what you deserved. And the ones that voted for these people got what they deserve. So, hey, it is what it is. But hey, guys, let's not just pick on the Big Apple. Now let's go to Chicago, because it gets worse over in Chicago. Let's see what we got.
So many of these sanctuary cities now unable to keep up. In Chicago, for example, a group of people who came out of Venezuela, all the way from Venezuela, with hopes of a better life. They've been living on the streets. They say, we're going back home. One of them declaring the American dream doesn't exist.
We have reached a critical...
Yeah, because we starting to feel that way too. As an American, I'm like, I don't know, man. Because these Democrats trying to take away the American dream from Americans. So everybody is unhappy. So they done strolled their butts all the way from Venezuela, got over here, and they like, okay, we've been sold a box of rocks. Yeah, thought we was coming to Disneyland and showed up at Outdoor Park. Yeah, that's an old shut down park that used to be in Youngstown. It was an amusement park. When I was little, it was the bomb. You know, when you little things look huge. Now I go and I look where Outdoor Park was, and I'm like, I could throw a Frisbee across the whole park. We thought this was huge. Yeah, thought it was huge. But now, these people are at the Outdoor Park. That's what it is.
point in our city's migrant situation. Cold weather and snow have arrived. More than 3,000 new arrivals still don't have a roof over their heads.
That's exactly right, Tanya. Right now, there are more than 2,800 migrants living outside of police stations across the city of Chicago.
How do you get to this point? How do you get to this point? Is the desire to change the demographics of our country and to try to acquire eternal power that important that you would ruin great cities like New York and Chicago? You'll stack these tents out there in the middle of the street, 2,800 folks just living outside in a tent. I mean, this is bad for them and it's bad for the people of Chicago as well. Can you imagine you coming from a place where you could sleep outside and be warm? You get all the way here to Chicago, never experienced cold, probably never seen snow, and you get thrown out into the cold in a place where you know no one, don't know where to go, don't have no family members you could post up in their crib with. You don't know the layout of the land. If they took me to Venezuela and dropped me off, I would have to stay where they left me because I don't know Venezuela. So I'm going to sit there and rely on the people to help me. This is exactly what's going on. These people are sitting here going, well, shoot, who do we talk to? We got language barriers. I mean, are they going to rescue us from this? Are they going to, what's going on here? And these people brought this all the way on themselves, like Mayor Conehead, grown man having, oh, dang on, Brandon Johnson, which we're about to hear the dumbest thing I ever heard come out of this man's mouth.
Waiting to be placed in shelters, and with the cold and even the snow earlier today starting to set in, thousands of them are having to stay outdoors in flimsy tents. In response, the city has dispatched city buses from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. at 16 Chicago police districts to offer warmth from the colder temperatures.
Unnecessary. All of this is unnecessary. All this could have been avoided. So now they got to have buses. You know, I mean, can you imagine the kids? I don't like sleeping if it's too chilly in my room. Give me a heated blanket. I like it cold when I sleep, though, you know. But, hey, don't try to go to sleep in the cold. If I'm sitting out in a car somewhere and I ain't got no heat in that car, I ain't going to be nodding off. Mine be wide open like it's freezing. Teeth chattering. Dang on it. Running some sprints to try to stay warm. If I was one of them immigrants right there, you would see me outside my tent doing jumping jacks and running dashers side to side. Just trying to stay warm. Just trying to stay warm. But, hey, Mayor Johnson, he's like, yeah, I don't see what the problem is.
This is exactly the situation city leaders and migrants feared. There are thousands of asylum seekers sleeping on sidewalks all over the city as temperatures plunge toward freezing.
You mean thousands of illegal immigrants sleeping outside? I don't care how they package that term up. They're illegal immigrants. That's what they are.
It's the coldest most of them have ever been.
Yeah.
These Venezuelan natives seeking asylum here in Chicago are for now stranded, wrapped only in donated winter coats, hats, and gloves. All of this feels completely foreign to them.
Yeah.
Misael told us, yes, it's been and is very cold. We are finding out that it is going to snow, and we are hoping they get us out of here as soon as possible.
And I'm going to tell you, I got friends that came from the islands, came from California. When you grow up where it's always warm, you don't know how to deal with the cold. That is one of them things they came here. It's like, what is this? And I'm sitting here like 50 degrees with a tank top on, and they're full blown snorkel coat, got the fur around the hood, everything, full blown mittens, boots. And I'm going, what the heck? You look like an abominable snowman. It's 55 degrees. Man, it's freezing. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know. And I'm going, wow, you're not built for the heat, are you? These people come from a tropical area. You know they don't know nothing about the heat, man. So, I mean, the cold, rather. So they are going to hurt. They are hurting. They're probably like, yo, I came for the American dream, but I'm about to become a popsicle, so send me on back.
Misael and his cluster of sidewalk neighbors have been here for a month and a half, sleeping with just the protection of plastic and anything they can find.
Yo no, pero sí hay familias que...
He said, I don't have kids, but there are families here with 2, 3, 4 kids. They are inside and outside. The city has dispatched buses to offer overnight warmth from the sudden winter temperatures.
We need
Shite-town. Won't you take me to Shite-town? That is a raggedy city at this point. Two of our greatest, ran by Democrats, are about to come crashing down.
Need more than the warming buses, but we need to take everything we can get.
That's exactly right, Tanya. Right now, there are more than 2,800 migrants living outside of police stations across the city of Chicago, waiting to be placed in shelters. And with the cold and even the snow earlier today starting to set in, thousands of them are having to stay outdoors.
Here's the money.
Outdoors. There you go. Now, if I'm a police officer in Chicago, I'm thinking, am I too young to retire? I don't know. I mean, is there another line of work? Because not only is Chicago a S-hole ran city filled and riddled with gang violence, young thugs breaking into buildings and looting and all of that stuff, but now you got to come into work with your coffee and stepping over a whole bunch of migrants laying out in front and also in the office. Sitting in there planning your morning meetings with the migrants laying around nodding off. I got a question. You're not allowed to ask questions. We're in a meeting, okay? Be quiet. But are you going to circle around the back? This is a meeting with us. We're going to let you stay here, but stop interrupting our meeting. Anyway. All right, guys. So Section 5, we're going to have you over to Johnson. Who's Johnston? You know what? Tell you what, let's all go out in the cold. Let's go out in the cold so we can have a private meeting. This is unbelievable. So now they're dealing with that up there, and look at the money that's being spent.
Illinois has spent on humanitarian aid for migrants. You're over $330 million, which, by the way, is cheap compared to New York.
What?
I'm going to read you a quote from one of the Venezuelans saying, how many more months of living in the streets will it take? No more. It's better that I leave.
Yeah, it's better that you shouldn't have come in the first place. Unbelievable how many months I got to deal with this cold, man. It's better that I leave. See, y'all fell for the okie doke, man. Y'all don't realize y'all are being played. They are using all of you, okay? So they don't care if you acquire the American dream or not. You get here, we take care of you as long as we can, but then after that, fend for your own. Find some cheap labor job somewhere, but hey, vote for us though. That's what we need y'all to do. We need y'all to vote for us. So now, yeah, they done came here and they done came in so much and so quickly that you can't process these people. You can't blend them into society when they're being dumped in there by thousands. See, they got greedy with this illegal immigration thing. They were like, oh, yo, we might be out in 4 years, especially dealing with creepy sleepy. So here's the goal. Break down everything that would restrict or prevent or discourage these people from coming. If we got 4 years, if we could cram in about 12 million in that amount of time, that should do it. Because that 12 million becomes 24 million as they start duplicating and things like that. And that's a winner for us. So they brought them in too quick and now they can't make adjustments. And so let's see all this money up here. Let's see. 18.
Well, I'm sorry that they feel that way, but Chicago taxpayers shouldn't be on the hook for paying these bills. And that $330 million bill, that's just what the state of Illinois is paying. Yeah. The city of Chicago is committed to paying $255 million this year alone, on top of all the other amenities that all the other layers of government are providing, including our schools. It's simply not sustainable. And the fact of the matter is this: the federal government has failed in this moment to not only secure the border, to address the asylum seekers, and to provide for their well-being.
Look at that. Look at that garbage. This is unbelievable, man. That's Chicago. This is crazy. They're all having a sleepover. There you go. They have all made pallets. How do you live like that? No privacy. I mean, you're just laying out there on stuff, waiting, just waiting, at the mercy of these bootleg politicians. They created a problem. They gaslit you and told you, come on, it's over here you got prosperity and riches, and you're going to get Vatican care and community college. And now they're all just laying around inside of a building on the floor sleeping. I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they do it. But they chose to do it. And the Biden administration has chosen to allow these people to come. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Chicago take it to the chin and New York. Every one of these Democrat cities needs to be an example of what not to do. I feel for the people there, but they have two choices. Either vote these people out or get out. Move somewhere where you don't have to have this eyesore laying out in front of you. This is what you got to do, man. Y'all got two choices. Vote them out or get out. If y'all leave, then only thing left is non-tax paying people, dumb voters, and these raggedy, corrupt politicians. And watch that beautiful, once luxurious city implode. So we can all sit back and say, yep, now that's what not to do. That's what you get from Democrat leadership. They took something that should have been unsinkable, Chicago, New York, and sunk it. If you could tear those two cities down that are the most popular, I mean, good grief, what good are you? But hey, Democrat policies.
Since they're putting cases
you're
6 years
exactly
away.
Right. That is the point. You shouldn't have to apologize if people aren't happy with the treatment they're getting in Chicago.
That's right.
They made a decision to leave their homes.
That's on them.
Unfortunately, they're still not happy. In the meantime, the people who live in your state are paying millions, if not billions of dollars eventually. You don't need to apologize.
No, I think you're absolutely correct, Bill. I think it's in my nature, just as a good Christian, to try to help people. But at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for this failure. Yeah. We've seen our president and our vice president come to our city numerous times. They're hosting the Democratic National Convention here in several months.
What? Man, I would park every single one of these illegal immigrants right outside the convention, set up all of their tents and camps and stuff. Yeah, make them have to step over it. Make chameleon hairs have to lift those funky heels one more time to step over all of these illegal immigrants. Make Creepy Sleepy have to bend those wooden legs with real feet to step over a whole bunch of illegal immigrants. That's what I would do. So they're coming there and they're going to be met with that stuff. Now, I feel this guy. I mean, as a Christian and just as a person with a conscience, it's sad to see this. But there is a reason why we're seeing this. This is all preventable. And the gullible people all the way down in South America or wherever, unfortunately, they're victims of these people's manipulation. And the voters in those cities are victims of those people's manipulation. So it all goes back to Democrat leadership. And they're about to misplace the heck out of this blame, especially when you hear what Conehead got to say.
And yet they still allow us to be the guinea pig for this failed policy of allowing individuals to come here for asylum with no support.
Yeah.
A bus of brand new arrivals pulls up at the 12th District Police Station today. Okay. While migrants continue to arrive daily in Chicago, the amount is not nearly as many as it was over the summer when daily bus arrivals were in the double digits. Today, the city is expecting only 2 buses. Volunteer Luciana Diaz says the Halloween day snow was a reality check for many living at the police stations.
The snow day.
I really can't stay. Baby, it's cold outside. I got to go away. Baby, it's cold in here. So now it's freezing. And they all out there in that cold.
It was freezing for everybody. And I told them that's nothing. This is nothing, guys.
Nothing.
You should start looking for a shelter or go to other state, other city.
Well, this is widely expected to be announced in the coming weeks. I'm hearing weeks, not.
Oh, well, look at this, y'all. Look at this. So now that they're at a breaking point and the people are hip to what they're doing in these cities, and they know that election time is coming up, and one of the biggest battering rams that's going to be used against the Democrats is immigration. Their raggedy immigration policies. So look at the Biden administration at the last second trying to adopt some white nationalist Trump policies, y'all. Trying to adopt the ones that they got rid of, okay? And it was working. They got rid of it. They said it was inhumane and it was violating these people's asylum rights and stuff. Now they're trying to sneak them back in without nobody knowing it. So they can say, look, we're doing stuff. So they're trying to plug the leak right now. And listen to this.
months, Joe, and this would be what they call a notice for proposed rulemaking. And basically, that's the federal government's way of saying we want to go forward with this rule, allowing for a comment period. But really, it's something that they can put forward only to be challenged by courts. They don't need Congress to do this. And what it would do is exactly like you said, make migrants ineligible for asylum if they did not first try to claim asylum in another country. Now,
what? They just getting this revelation after we got 10 million illegal immigrants here. I mean, this is what the John Kennedy has been saying to Mucus the whole time. Why don't you just have these people stay somewhere else or apply other places before they get to our border? Obviously, we have to take in consideration. They've been saying that won't work the whole time. And now what they're doing is going, okay, we almost hit our quota. So now let's go ahead and start using the common sense that y'all should have been using up front. So look, they're trying to sneak it in, but this reporter here busted them.
it does make some exceptions for people who might have a fear of being tortured, for example, but that's a higher bar migrants will have to meet.
Yeah, because right now they ain't got no bar. That bar's so low they could walk over it without even jumping. There you go. This is just a normal walk in the park. That's how low that bar is. You ain't even got to step over it. Yeah, just stride right over it and don't even know it's there. That's how low the bar is. So now they want to go ahead and raise the bar.
And the way the government wants to do this is to make migrants do a very quick interview in Border Patrol custody so that if they don't qualify, they're quickly expelled or deported back to Mexico. Now, some of those
Look at that. So you're telling me that these folks were smart enough to figure this out way earlier. Because you can't tell me they just getting this revelation right now when they're under fire about this immigration issue. I think a good idea would be to make sure that they check in the first country that they can get to before they get. If you just got that revelation and I got that revelation when this all started, that man shouldn't be in his job. He did it on purpose. He did it on purpose. So yeah, how quickly would that solve the whole issue? Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Jose? Okay, Jose. What are you here for? Asylum? Okay, where you come from? Venezuela. Okay, how did you get through Mexico to get here? I walked. Did you stop at Mexico to apply for asylum? No. Then go back. Next. There you go. You solve it. But no, Mucus took that away. But now you're trying to slide it back in.
Details are still being worked out with the Mexican government. But what we do understand is that legal groups, immigration rights activists and legal advocates are already preparing a lawsuit to challenge this policy because they say it's exactly like a policy created under the Trump administration.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So now you got the activists, y'all. The dumbavists out there saying, no, we'll sue the Biden administration now. If they use this practical common sense policy to stop this, anything that reminds us of Trump or similar to Trump's policies, we have to do away with them. Even if they work, even if they were effective, even if they're common sense, we'd rather see the country go down in flames than to have a policy resembling Trump's. Because remember, guys, the first thing they did when they got in is destroyed all of Trump's policies and labeled them to be racist, inhumane, white nationalists, all of these policies. And now they're trying to bring back the policies that worked. Interesting. But hey, when you create advocates, you create protesters, you create all of these liberals, they ain't having it, man. So they're like, Biden, what are you doing? You're forsaking us. We thought that you were really down with the struggle. Nah, I'm trying to stay in power here. And the people are mad. So now we got to go back to Trump's policies that worked.
And by his immigration hardliner advisor, Stephen Miller. And it's one that they challenged then and one that they plan to challenge again now. It really shows how this administration has become a little harder on immigration than what a lot of these groups expected from President Biden.
Yeah. See, you created all of these people. See, when you wanted to bring all of these illegal immigrants over here, you created all these social groups and all of these, advocates to go and help them and bring them into some. But hey, they did their job too good. Too good. Now you're like, oh, shoot, they too many. And we about to lose New York and Chicago. All right, and the election's coming up. Okay. All right, it's time to pump the brakes. Hey, guys, we're going to go ahead and put common sense policies back in there. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? We thought that you were okay with not having any borders. I mean, we're not fascists, are you, Biden? We're going to sue. That's why these useful idiots who allow themselves to destroy the country because of these politicians that manipulate their emotions, make them feel like they're doing justice. These useful idiots don't realize there will come a time where you're no longer useful. Once they accomplish their quota and their goal, now they want you out the way. Now you are just an activist for nothing. They're like, okay, the activism needs to stop right now, okay? Our goal really is just to stay in power. We weren't really trying to get these people out bad alive. We weren't really trying to talk about a Statue of Liberty. Don't forget, that wasn't the real goal. We told y'all that stuff so we can get you all caught up in it. But y'all took it seriously? No. Okay, so now what I need y'all to do is get out the way, okay, because we're going to go ahead and shut this mess down. Now all of a sudden, Biden and them are the fascists. Interesting. So let's see.
And what he campaigned on when he said he wanted to go back to a safe, orderly, and humane immigration policy. But in part, they're being driven by the numbers. We've seen record numbers of migrants crossing the border. And Secretary Mayorkas says that they want to open up more legal pathways. They've opened up some already, but our reporting shows they don't expect to be opening up any more pathways, particularly for Central Americans, anytime soon.
How many more pathways could you open? Mucus done open them all up. You got multiple doors that you could come in. What are you talking about? The pathways are everywhere. They're not being streamlined. They're not even being constricted to what continent they come from. You got people flying in from other continents. So how streamlined or how many pathways could you come up with? You already got enough of them. So guys, wait a minute. Here comes Mayor Conehead in a second.
So, Julie, I mean, the fact that critics are comparing Biden policies with Trump-era policies, I mean, you're the expert here. Is it accurate to make those comparisons? Are the policies similar?
Good question. Because remember, no, I won't give another dime for that wall. Walls are racist, Nasty Pelosi said. With that mush mouth and those monkey paw hands. Oh, that's right. And all of a sudden, what? She threw up a wall at her crib. Yeah, put a wall around the Capitol. And now Biden and them is starting to build a little bit of that wall. Look at them. Look at them adopting some of that white nationalism and stuff. It's unbelievable, but people fall for this. People fall for their garbage. If you're that dumb to believe that a wall to keep illegal immigrants out is racist, you're operating on about 2 or 3 brain cells, period. But they pulled that off and got people mad at the wall because they equated it to Trump and racism. And now look what we got. A problem. Let's continue.
Well, it is hard to see the policy in a vacuum. It's true that the Trump administration did not try to open up more pathways for people like we're seeing right now from Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, Nicaragua.
Yeah, because you want to solve the problem. You want to discourage illegal immigration. So Trump was trying to stop it. Yeah. See, Trump stopped building all of these refugees and beds, camps and stuff like that because we weren't open for business. We're not a hotel. You build it, they'll come. You set up all of these camps and stuff. They're going to preparing for our welcoming. Let's keep going, everyone. So when you stop building that stuff, that's a signal that, hey, no mas. We don't want you guys coming. No room. We're tearing down. And what did they do? We wouldn't have this problem if Trump would have kept building facilities to accommodate these people. No, doing that encourages, not accommodates. It encourages these people to come. But hey, let's go ahead and see, because she's trying to distance these policies from Trump, but it's hard to do it.
People can apply from their home countries, and they'll let in 30,000 collectively from those 4 per month. That didn't exist under the Trump administration. But if you look at this policy on its own, it really does look a lot like what happened then. And I've spoken to some former Biden administration officials who say when they waived these options earlier in the administration, they said, no way, it's not legal, we won't go there.
That's right, because they didn't have enough illegal immigrants. That's why they said, no way. Like they really waived these options early in their administration. They wavered them. Like, get these options out of here, man. I don't want to even discuss this. Now, we got a goal and agenda. Mucus, You know what you got to do, of course, make sure that the cartel is providing fresh illegal immigrants every couple of days by the millions, and also allowing them to use some fentanyl and bring it into the country as well until we accomplish our goal. Now, all of a sudden, they're right at that point where they're going, okay, now let's go ahead and act like we got some sense now. Hey, you know what? I got a good idea. How about we make these people apply for asylum at the first country they get to? That's brilliant. You just thought of that? Yes, I just thought of that. 3 years later? Yeah, absolutely. See, that goes to show that they're not incompetent. What they are is evil.
So it does show that they have slid down that scale, at least in part. And it also shows where we are in this country on this issue, because right now, while these groups are threatening to sue for them being too hard on migrants, we also have Republican-led states suing the administration for being too lenient. There's really very few policies they can put forward now, Joe, that they won't wind up in court over.
Man, people who advocate for this got to be the dumbest people. The useful idiots we're going to sue because they're being too hard on the migrants. Do you understand? You cannot operate a country like this. It's unbelievable. They have no awareness. Like, they can't internalize this because they're looking at it through rose-colored glasses. It's like a kid. If you say, hey, if you had one wish, what would you like? I would wish for everyone to all have $1 billion quadrillion and live forever and have food and hunger. They got that mentality. They're not based in reality because, see, to bring it home, all you got to do is just say, okay, let's go ahead and add, say, maybe 1 or 2 people to your house every 2 days. Now, the first 2 to get there, okay, they'll try to hold on to their humanitarianism, try to hold on to their positive attitude, like New York. New York has a brand. Everybody wants to come. We're welcoming. See, when they first start coming, it was, okay, yeah, all right, come on, y'all, meeting them when they're getting off the bus. Then the next day, another 2 come. You're like, oh, okay, hold on, wait. All right, let's see. You mind sleeping on the floor? Okay, all right, we'll put 1 on the floor, put 1 on, ding dong. We got 3 more? Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. All right, now, y'all okay with sleeping like puppies on top of each other? Okay, let's go with the puppy sleep. Ding dong. 2 more? All right, I'm running out of room here. Okay, just a minute. Let me work out the logistics. So you got to do things like that to dumb people so they can realize life doesn't work that way. That's how, but in their mind, it's like, hey, we got vast resources. What's wrong with this? We're America. We stole this land anyway. Oh, boy, they're so dumb.
A federal judge here in California has shot down one of the Biden administration's restrictions on people seeking asylum here in the U.S.
The judge ruled the policy mandating people try to seek asylum in another country before requesting it at the U.S. border violates U.S. asylum law.
And that's what you get with a dumb Soros prosecutor / judge or whatever. This is the dumbest. See, California, man. You want to go ahead and get stupid stuff shot down? Yeah, find a Californian judge or a dang on George Soros paid judge. Yeah, they'll do stupid stuff like that. But here we go, y'all. Man Conehead. Look at that big old bag of nothing right here. Y'all ready for this right here? Made me so mad watching it. Hold on. I got to get loose. Because right about now, man, I'm going to tell you, when I watched this, at one point, I almost wanted to fight. I was sitting there like, man, I should challenge this dude to a fist fight, honestly. Just like, hey, man, Conehead, coming from me. Can I talk to you? I ain't going to jump in. Hey, man, stop twitching, man. Stop, relax. I ain't going to swing on you. But I will challenge you to a fight if you accept it. Listen to what this guy does. He bubble wraps himself with the most identity politics, bullcrap Marxist conflict theory I've ever heard.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What would you want to see from the border deal that's being discussed in Congress? And would you want some limits placed on the flow of migrants from other cities and states?
Well, there has to be better coordination. You know, what we've seen is a very raggedy form instituted by right-wing extremism.
Puffy, hold it down, baby. instituted by right-wing extremism. What the heck are you talking about? Do you see this? He is just going to let me figure out what racist dog whistle word that I can use to distract these people from my choices and also from Biden administration choice. He's the ultimate sellout. Ultimate sellout. I hate using terms like Uncle Tom's and sellouts and stuff, but boy, if there was ever a time to use it, that dude owns it right there, shucking and jiving. So now he goes straight to the right-wing extremism. We didn't open up these borders. What are you talking about, man? We didn't declare we were dang on sanctuary cities. Y'all did. But yet it's coordinated by right-wing extremists. What else?
Everyone knows that the right-wing extremism in this country has targeted democratically ran cities. And quite frankly, they've been very intentional about going after democratically ran cities that are led by people of color.
He's everything wrong when it comes down to representing black folks. So now this dude talking about right-wing extremism, everybody knows that. What right-wing extremism are you talking? What's extreme? That's my question. See, he needs somebody to push back. I need to be up in that funky joint. Where's my microphone? I don't know. But I need a press pass right now. I would be like, excuse me, can you define what is right-wing extremism? Because, see, I don't hear a lot of us walking around declaring that we are right-wing and we're extreme. That right there is an example of Marxist conflict theory. What that man is doing is saying, don't focus on me and my bad policies. I'm going to distract y'all with labeling and blaming other people. Not just blaming them, but I got to label them as something else. See, I want the blame to be accepted because of the label that I put on them. So to try to make the audience say, well, that seems like something a white right-wing extremist would do. Unreal. They don't even question this guy on this.
And their whole motivation is to create disruption and chaos, because that's what that particular party has been about.
That particular party has been about. Man, now you see why I want to fight this dude? So now this guy, man, with that big fat cone head, okay, selling out his own people, are talking about that, first of all, right-wing conservatives are targeting Democrat cities. No, you targeted yourself by declaring that you guys were open policies when it come down to illegal immigrants. Y'all said you were sanctuary cities. You put the target on your own back. And when somebody threw a dart in it, now you're talking about, man, who threw this dart at me? I'm going to blame these right-wing extremists over here. And then got the nerve to add on to it the black, usually ran by people of color. No, they voted y'all dummies in because of your color. And then you went ahead and sold your people out by bringing in illegal immigrants and dumping them in the city. And then when you're held accountable for it or people recognize it, your response is to say they're targeting us because we're Democrat cities and they're ran by black folks. Ran into the ground. That's the only running you're doing, pal. Running the whole city into the ground. Oh, I'm telling you, if I meet him, man, it's going to be a friendly, welcoming. You ever spar? You ever spar, Conehead? You do? Oh, cool, man. Hey, we should get together and spar sometime. Nah, man, we don't need the gloves. Forget that, man. We use love taps, man. It's slap boxing. I thought we were slap boxing. So anyway, let's continue though. Here we go. Some more propaganda, lies, and of course, identity politics.
Right, this is the same political party that did not want to accept that President Obama was actually an American. It's the same Republican right-wing extremism that stormed the Capitol. It's the same.
Now he knows he's garbage. He knows he's on the bubble. And they sent him out there and said, all right, you got to get the heat up off of you. I'll need you to go in and come up with everything you can come up with to misplace the blame based on what you just allowed happen in your city and come up with J6, white nationalism, the birther issue, and listen to this next one he's about to drop out.
Same right-wing extremism that refuses to accept the results of the Civil War.
What the heck? Oh my gosh. I see my hands around his neck. I don't like these visions. I don't like these. All right, around the cone. And I just want the hands around the cone. I would squeeze that cone so tight it'd look like an Afro puff sitting on the top. That's how tight I'd squeeze it. So now this dude got the nerve to say, same right-wing extremists that never accepted the results of the Civil War. What are you talking about? Your party didn't accept the results. How do you think we got the Klan? This fool up here is talking about we didn't accept the results. We won. The Republicans freed the slaves. And this dummy got the nerve to be out here talking about didn't accept the results of the Civil War. That's why the slaves were free, you dumb behind conehead, non-qualified, big nose sellout, jellyback, two-faced, backstabbing, snagger-tooth, doodle brown, dumpster juice, pus having, mud scum, mayor for nothing. Boy, this guy's an idiot.
It's raggedy. It's disrespectful. It's mean-spirited. It's an unclean spirit, quite frankly.
Oh, then you see him trying to go spiritual. You see him trying to, it's raggedy. It's unclean. It's an unclean spirit, actually. No, you're the unclean spirit, you doo-doo stain. That's what this guy is. He's a doo-doo stain, y'all. Doo-doo stain. Doo-doo stain, y'all. Doo-doo stain. Doo-doo stain, y'all. Doo-doo stain. Doo-doo stain. That's what this guy is. Talking about somehow. It's an unclean spirit and all. Boy, is he pulling out all the shots. That's why he had to make my thumbnail. When I watched this, my mouth almost dropped to the floor listening to this fool. So, he's garbage, man.
And so I got you. I just want to make sure that people understand what we're facing. That's why it's so important that the faith community is leaning in this moment. And so what I've said, there has to be better coordination. Look, Pastor Will Hall, who's also an alderman of the 6th Ward, visited the border. He saw the chaos firsthand. And so part of our effort to go to the border was to make sure that there was better coordination with the flow of migrants.
No, it wasn't. It was to get the heat off you. Because you were sitting around Chicago looking dumb, tiptoeing around all of these town hall meetings because you knew the people was ready to get out the pitchforks and the torches. And so you decided, oh, I better go ahead and make it look like I'm doing stuff and bounce and go down to the border to see what I already know is going on. Step up. What's your name? The Francisco. Okay, Francisco. Here's your papers. You can go ahead and come on in. All right, next. That's what's going on because of Biden's policies. But you're smart enough and a big enough sellout not to make the same mistake as Peanut Head up there in New York. Yeah. So he started off talking reckless at first. We have a brand. We welcome everybody. And then he got the message once he decided, whoa, these policies are killing the city. Hey, you guys need to lock that border down. What? Who is it? FBI? Oh, shoot. Hold on for a minute now. Wait 1 second, okay. Yes, FBI, give us your things. Okay. All right, now back to you, Biden. You guys need to go ahead and shut that. What? Ding dong, you're being served because someone said you molested them 30 years ago. Why is all this happening to me now? I think we know why. So this guy gets out there and said, instead, I'm going to go ahead, misplace the blame, bring up racism, bring up the Civil War, and ignore the real problem while not even giving a solution to the people who are furious with the Conehead.
Who are seeking asylum here. And this is not unprecedented. When the Ukrainian refugees found their way to the shores of America, there were 30,000 of them right here in the city of Chicago, and you don't hear a word about it because it was coordinated. There was federal dollars that were attached to those families. And so...
Yeah, but see, the problem is when you're just trying to pack them in, you can't coordinate that. When you are under the gun and the clock, when your goal is pack as many as you can. Yeah, when those looters bust into the stores in your city, they don't neatly just put them in the basket and No. What they do is whatever I can grab and throw it in there, that's what I'm going to do. Worry about it afterwards. I don't care how it's in the bag, if it spills. I don't care if it's getting drugged across the floor and getting muddy. I'll worry about all that later. That's why it's raggedy, because it shouldn't be happening in the first place. So this guy right here, boy, I tell you, if I was a dog right now, I would find his foot and lift my leg to pee on his feet. Like, oh, my fault. I thought you were a fire hydrant. Unbelievable.
To your question, yes, it has to be better coordinated. As far as limitations, we have to have parameters that respect the dignity of families who want to call Chicago their home.
Shut up. Already. Dang. Tell me, who in the house? So this guy, we had these people who wants to call them the Chicago their home. He is feeding them a bunch of bull crap. He is gaslighting the heck out of them. He's oily talking, smooth talking, trying to act like he's the moral high ground, and it's all these white nationalists that are responsible for what you allowed to happen to your city. You big dummy.
It is abysmal, and it's an affront for everything that is good about this country. For the extremism in this country to use people as political tools to settle political scores.
What does this have to do with anything? This is extremism. They're just dropping the word out there constantly. Extremists, extremists, extremists. Nobody interviews this guy. Nobody. And the bad part is the Democrats have been using these people the whole time. If they would have left them down there, this wouldn't be happening. They wouldn't be complaining that, oh, I better go back to Venezuela. I'm sitting here in the cold in Chicago because these people sold me a bull crap line. Come on, surge the border. We're a sanctuary city. No one's illegal. American dream. All of this crap. This guy, they've been using these people for cheap labor, and they've been bringing them here for future votes. And this fool is trying to blame it on these extremists that I don't understand. Because see, I disagree with everything the man said. I'm not extreme. I think we should have closed borders, period. I'm not extreme. So just when people disagree with him and expose his raggedy policies and his behavior, then what do? Distract by just throwing extremism, extremism, extremism. How many times are you going to use that word, Conehead?
For something that happened 400 years ago. They're still mad that a black man is free in this country.
That right there made me want to drop kick him in that Conehead. They're still mad. Now, what does this have to do with illegal immigration? They're still mad of something that happened 400 years ago. Do you really think that? The belittling of the intelligence that this man is dropping out there. Who really thinks that conservatives are mad over slavery? We celebrated slavery being abolished. This fool's there, man. He literally flipped history. He's trying to make it seem like it was the conservatives and the Republicans who got mad that slavery ended. Got mad. We still wish we could go back to it. Yeah, we're mad that we lost the Civil War. This fool, nobody is questioning him, and that's what makes me so mad about this rant that he's going on. They're all sitting there. I would light this dude's tail up so bad in that mug. It'd be black on black violence. That's what that would be. He won't be able to call me a white nationalist and a white reporter. You can't ask no question. I would be like, no, man, this is black on black. This right here is a black thing. We're about to settle this. So now he's talking about that they're mad over what happened 400 years ago. They're mad because they don't want us to be what, humans, did he say? Huh? Let me see. Let me make sure I got that.
For something that happened 400 years ago. They're still mad that a black man is free in this country.
What the? This dude, man, he need to be recalled. But mad because a black man is free. So the party that fought for black men and women to be free, that party, you're saying that we're mad that black man is free in the country. See, that's what we are. That's the whole reason we don't want illegal immigrants coming into the country, because we're mad that black people are free. He don't realize how dumb he sounds, but to a dummy, it sounds deep. It sounds like he's down with the struggle as he's talking you out of being able to see the mess he's created. Slide in some racist comments, slide in these folks don't want us to be humans. And the bad part is that the Democrats didn't want black people to be human, so they can continue using them as slaves. But he's a part of that party, and he's one of the biggest sellouts that I've ever seen. This is a sellout scene right here. You want to see a sellout scene? We're watching one. The biggest sellout scene I've ever seen. Oh, boy.
This is nothing new, but aren't you glad that the soul of Chicago won't be broken?
God. Now, that's how he wraps it up. Now, let me give you some hope after I just fed you some Swiss cheese. Now, aren't you glad? This is that sermon. I'm going to pump you up. And God said, your death blessings coming. The devil don't want you to be great. He's mad all the time. Yes, he is. But aren't you glad this day that God has your back? Now, I need you to go into your wallets and pull out a blessing. So now he done hyped him up with a whole bunch of accusations of white nationalism, racism, extremism. And then, but aren't you glad today that I'm the dummy running your country into the ground?
Words of, I think, Beyonce, you won't break our soul.
That ain't funny. And look at the dummies clap. And he think he got away with that. The dummies clapping. They done totally lost all of that stuff. He ends with Beyonce, and they're like, oh, I like Beyonce. Wait, what did he just say? For a second, I was mad, and then he said Beyonce, and all of a sudden, oh, boy. Democrats are the worst, man. Honestly, man, that clip right there made me say, yeah, I wouldn't mind going a couple rounds in the ring with that guy. But, of course, it'd be consensual, because I'm not here to encourage violence or anything like that, okay? I'm talking like a friendly man-on-man, just sparring contest. That's all I'm talking about. To where he gonna come out and that whole cone would be leaning. There it is. That mohawk would be leaning. So let's continue before we get out of here, because the left is losing their mind, y'all. Left losing.
Oh, it's worse. Speaking of language, you should have heard me the first.
No, please.
Actually, every second of the Alabama game until the final throw. But Claire, I'm so glad you talked about marketing, because the crisis we're going through right now, where the world could really spiral into World War III, but it's not, because a guy who's actually had 50 years of experience.
They're the white version of Brandon Johnson right there. See, so now this man had the nerve to just say that we could go into a World War III if it wasn't for the Biden and all of his wisdom and his 50 years of experience.
It shows the contrast between a guy obsessed with marketing his brand, a guy obsessed with gestures, a guy who governed by gesture versus, well, Joe Biden, who has 50 years of experience.
Same thing. Keywords. 50 years of experience, 50 years of experience, 50 years of experience, just like Brandon Johnson. Extremism, right wing. So now they're trying to convince us that Joe's policies and his 50 years of experience means what? He got 50 years of experiencing tearing down the country. Ain't never done nothing right. He ain't nothing but a bag of bones. That's right. Only thing he ever did is made a crackhead. That is it. That is it. So now this guy's trying to get the audience to believe that Joe Biden has better policies and overseas policies than Trump did. Trump was just a bumbling fool, right? Listen to this.
And when a deal goes sideways on the hostages, he can pick up the phone, he can call, he can get it done. When he meets with President Xi.
When has he done that? Giving money, buying for, paying for hostages, stuff like that. Trading hostages that are dangerous for Brittany Grimes, the ungrateful basketball player. We got the raw deal all around. And yet he's talking about he could get on. Trump brought all kind of folks back, including those black basketball players. Remember they got busted over there in China stealing? I mean, he could have left them if he was a white nationalist. That would be 3 less black people he got to get rid of and send back to Africa or something. But he brought them home. He brought those Koreans home. He brought the remains home from North Korea. And yet this fool's up here talking about that Joe Biden can get on the phone. Joe can't get on the phone with nobody without stinking it up. Boy, they are willing to go to whatever length they have to lie and to cover up for Joe Biden and to try to make Trump look like he's the one in mental decline.
In a critical meeting, he can actually, they have experience. They've got over a decade of experience working with each other.
They don't even sound sincere. He's reaching for stuff. In a critical meeting, did I say he had experience? Yeah, he has over 50 years of experience. Have you seen Joe in meetings with these people? What are we doing here? We're going to get started. Is everybody here? Do you think Joe is sitting down in critical meetings? Anthony Blinken got to babysit him when they're there? And here's Joe up here, Mika and Beaker, up here trying to sell us on this garbage.
When both of them were number 2 in their countries. Experience matters, and the contrast, it makes me so angry when people are talking about, Joe Biden, he's out of it, he's this. No, he's not. On Joe Biden's worst day.
Gaslight, neon light, Democrat lights. That fool just said that. You heard it here in Kevin's Corner. No, he's not. In spite of the overwhelming video footage of Joe not remembering people's names, not knowing where he's at, can't finish his sentences, teleprompter beating him up all over the place, tripping up and down steps. And this man said, no, he's not.
He's light years ahead of Donald Trump on policy, on politics, on diplomacy.
This is objectively false. This ain't a gray area. That man just said he's light years above Trump on all of these things. And I'm going, how is this? They showed this on TV? They should have went to commercial while he was saying this. Like, okay, you went too far. You went too far. I mean, we want to at least continue to trick our people into thinking that we're a legitimate news organization. That was too far. That's unbelievable. Everything that Trump did was better than Biden. Just an example of it is they're now trying to go back to Trump's policies. Now they're trying to go back to his immigration policies. This is crazy, man. And listen to this.
Well, there's no question about that. And frankly, on mental capabilities, the ageism thing is really, look at the way Donald Trump behaves. Who is more unstable? Who is the one who, frankly, doesn't know where he is part of the time, doesn't know who he's running against?
What the heck is going on? This is one of the things, if I didn't have y'all all to support me, I would be thinking I'm the last sane person on the planet. I would be sitting around going, what the heck am I? Is there cameras here? Are they punking me? Are they just looking to see my reaction? Because this is crazy. She is describing Joe Biden right now and just saying, look at Trump. He's confused. He don't know who he's running against. He don't know where he's at half the time. All she's doing is describing Joe and just blaming it on Trump.
Doesn't know what year it is. Doesn't know world leaders. And
I could take 3 seconds to go and find like 25 clips of Joe doing everything she just said Trump is doing. Boy, she's a full-blown sellout.
And what countries they're from. It is really, if you isolate his comments and look at them objectively, he's the one who is suffering from a problem related to declining ability in later life. No.
Man, that's hard. This is hard to stomach. I can't even get mad. This is so blatantly false. And you look at it objectively, we are. You are objectively lying. I mean, listening to this, I'm going, this is a comedy. This right here has to be like a parody from Saturday Night Live. This is the biggest form of gaslighting ever. This is on that level of, I want to be clear, it's mostly peaceful protesters, even though your eyes see a burning building in the background. This woman Joe Biden's the burning building. And she's like, I want to be clear. He's sharp. He's witty. It's Donald Trump who is the one that's suffering from mental decline. He doesn't. And I'm saying, we seen the footage. This ain't one of them things where we got to guess at it. And you said it's objectively.
Not Joe Biden.
America
Not
is
Joe Biden.
back.
So let's see.
But why do you think it is that when you say the economy is improving and President Biden says the economy is improving, that a majority of Americans outside of this building are not buying it?
Because you're gaslighting them and lying. See, that's why. Just like we heard MSNBC straight come out there and gaslight us. Just like we heard Brandon Johnson try to gaslight us. And now, same thing with Blackgate Drop. She got a job to do, which is come out and prostitute herself. Where is my Blackgate Drop prop? I know I got a Blackgate Drop prop somewhere around here. I must have lost the prop. All right, but let's continue because Blackgate Drop is about to try to pull a fast one on us.
So here's the thing.
Just blame Trump.
It's his fault.
Say insurrection.
Blame Trump.
There you go. That is exactly what goes on in their meetings. Brandon Johnson just did it. You heard MSNBC just do it, and now you're about to see Blackgate Drop do it. They're all programmed. All right, here's the deal. Okay, let me go over my notes again. What did they train me to do? Trump, white nationalism, the systemic racism. Okay, here we go.
When we walked into this administration, the economy was on a tailspin. That is the fact. Because of the last administration, because of the Trump administration.
Watch me.
Because of how they dealt with COVID and the pandemic. And we understand what Americans have been feeling over the last...
You see her trying to be sincere? Feeling over the... Now you know what I got to do, guys. As she's talking about, because of what America's been feeling over the last... See, now I have to check her work. See, that's all I need to do. I just need to check her work. You know, it don't take long. When it comes down to these liars... All it takes is a quick Google search.
2-3 years. It's going to take some time. We get that. It's going to take some time. But it does not take away how we have seen the economy getting back on its feet.
When we walked into this administration, the economy was on its
I got a bad feeling about this.
Tailspin. That is the fact.
Let's have a look.
On jobs created, first 30 months, Trump 4.9 million, Joe Biden 2.1 million.
Oh.
And manufacturing jobs, Trump 454,000, Biden half 204,000.
Oh.
And then the mortgage rate, 265 under Trump. It's now 7.5% and rising. If you can get a mortgage.
No, ain't no homes. Ain't no homes for y'all if y'all didn't get it under Trump. Oh man, you might as well go ahead and prepare to be paying the last day of life. I got tubes up my nose. The life support system, but I'm gonna write you the last check because my mortgage is so high because of the rates that Joe Biden is responsible for. But what?
Wait, there's more.
And then Trump groceries 2%, Biden plus 20.
Plus 20.
Not a joke.
$6,400 a family increase under Trump. Under Biden, falling $4,000.
Wow.
That's a $10,000 plus differential. One's up and the other's down.
Y'all hear Blackgate Drop come out and try to overcome all these facts with lies? It's real hard to overcome facts, man. With lies that you can prove that are lies. And look at this, what we got? Okay, gas. Look where we at right about now. Okay, from 2020 to October 23rd, natural gas, 29%. Electricity up 25%, groceries 25%, restaurants 24%, and used cars 35%. But American people are fed up. But when we first came in, the economy was on a tailspin. A tailspin. So there you have it. More lies. Yeah.
Because of the last administration. Because of the Trump administration.
Blame Trump.
Bidenomics is just another way of saying the American dream.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
It is ma'am. See, that's how bad the Democrats are. That's how delusional they are. They're gaslighting us too. Looking at a full-blown grown man, and he's talking about, it is ma'am. Excuse me, it is ma'am. I don't care how mad you get. I don't care how many times you say it. You're not going to convince me that you're a ma'am. Just like you're not going to convince me that the economy was worse under Trump and we inherited him. You're not going to convince me. You're not going to do it.
Join us in California.
You're not going to convince me of that either. Not going. Democrats.
A lot of it has to do with Vladimir Putin.
Oh, that's another one. That's another one. Vladimir Putin, y'all.
That's Bidenomics.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Bidenomics is. And speaking of Biden, we're going to end with my boy. Woo-hoo-wee. Byron Donalds came out and dropped a hammer on Joe. Hammer. Listen to this. Now, let's see if these Democrats who've been out there saying there's not a scintilla of evidence. Not a scintilla of evidence with Joe Biden, okay? Not a scintilla. Let's see if they can overcome this mountain of facts that Byron Donalds is about to drop.
Mr. Speaker, President Biden consistently has stated that he never discussed businesses with Hunter Biden's associates.
Fact.
That is a lie. Let me repeat that even for the colleagues across the aisle. It is a lie.
For those
Throughout our extensive investigation and from the lips of credible witnesses, it is abundantly clear that the Biden family business is Joe Biden. Let me emphasize, there is no Biden family business.
Oh, snap. So now I wonder if those liars over there that's been lying for Joe Biden, I wonder after you get finished hearing all of this evidence, are they going to still be able to look the camera in the face and say, we still don't see any reason to think that? I wonder if the media, after listening to this, the fact that Joe Biden lied about, you know what, I never had anything to do with my son's business partner, never spoke to him. Just that fact alone should let you know he started off lying. Do you think he's going to start telling the truth now? He's lying to protect other lies. He might get caught in one lie, he'll lie, and then get caught in another lie. He has a track record of it. But yet they want to tell you that just because he might have maybe forgot that he talked to a few people in his son's business, don't mean he lied about that. And what else he lied about?
Except for Joe Biden's 40-plus year career in Washington, D.C.
So that's the only business they own? I like that type of business right there, man. So you ain't got no LLC, you ain't got no products you sell, you ain't selling nothing. So what are you selling? You don't do any counseling or consulting. What are you selling?
That has been the family business. As a member of the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, we have followed the paper trail. We've conducted our investigation by the book. We have discovered damning evidence, and we continue to do so every day. Our investigation has led to some alarming and eye-opening findings,
like what?
Which point to the president's knowledge and involvement in illegal business transactions. What? For example, in 2018, James Biden, the president's brother, received $600,000 in a loan from AmeriCorps, a financially distressed, failing rural hospital operator. Bankruptcy court documents suggested that James Biden received these loans based upon representations that his last name, Biden, could open doors in the Middle East based on his political connections.
Wow. Now these facts are starting to stack up. I wonder how the Democrats are over in their corner. Going, all right, how are we going to overcome this? All right, are you taking this down? Are you figuring out something stupid to say to try to cover for this bum? Oh boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. This man's dropping nothing but facts, and I'm taking notes. So let me get this straight. This guy, his brother, got a loan for $200,000. So let's see what happened to that loan.
Now, we all know James Biden doesn't have political connections. Joe Biden, his brother, has political connections.
He's the one.
Specifically, AmeriCorps wired a $200,000 loan into the account of James and Sarah Biden. Here's what makes the evidence damning.
What?
On the same day, James Biden wrote a $200,000 check from the same account addressed to his brother, Joe Biden.
What? Now, that's a coinky dink, isn't it? As they lied and said, no, I loaned my brother $200,000. When? Why? Did you not expect him to pay it back? You didn't ask him what the money was for? It don't look like you loaned him any money. It just looks like he got some money and gave it right to you. That's what it looks like. So prove that you gave him $200,000 and all that was a payback. This dude should have been impeached so long ago, if not brought up on charges?
And for the American people, the brother of James Biden is the president of the United States.
Oh.
Next example is an email obtained by the committee from a Hunter Biden associate, mentioning that 10% of the relevant joint venture that held by Hunter for the big guy. 10% of a relevant joint venture was held for the big guy. At this point in the committee's investigation, we've established that Joe Biden is the big guy.
Now, let's see where that 10% based on the amount that they earned or made or gotten. So 10%, let's see where it goes. Because somebody's the big guy. Let's see where the 10% goes.
Through the web of transactions that purposefully tried to hide the big guy's involvement. Let me stress again that Joe Biden is the Biden family business. Let me illustrate an example of the confusing web of transactions.
Please do.
A Chinese company sent $5 million to a joint venture between Hunter and an associate.
Got it.
That same day, the joint venture sent $400,000 to an entity that Hunter Biden controls alone.
Okay.
Less than a week later, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 from this entity to a company owned by James Biden and Sarah Biden, James Biden, the president's brother.
Gotcha.
Sarah Biden later withdrew $50,000 from the same company. Less than a week later, Sarah wrote a personal check to Joe Biden, aka the big guy, aka the president of the United States, for $40,000. 10% of the $400,000 that was mentioned in the email by the associate to Hunter Biden.
Oh, snap. Why isn't Ray investigating this? Ray couldn't figure it. No, Ray knows he's dirty. Because Ray had that laptop too. Ray had those audio clips of him talking on that phone too. Yeah, Ray had all of those whistleblowers and assets that say, yeah, man, this dude's dirty. He had all of that. Same thing with Mayor Garlick. But they're chasing Trump around. Talking about his property values and stuff like that. So now, isn't that ironic that exactly 10% of that $40,000 somehow ends up in the hands of Joe Biden? And they said that they had to reserve 10% for the big guy. So either he's the big guy, stunt double, or he is the big guy, which he is the big guy. Now, I wonder how they would explain that. How there's still no proof. There's no evidence. Maybe he's the little guy. No, he's the big guy.
Another example is when a confidential human source overheard a Burisma executive claiming to have bribed then Vice President Joe Biden for $5 million.
Okay.
As I stated earlier, Joe Biden consistently says that he never discussed businesses with Hunter Biden's associate. This was a blatant lie by the commander-in-chief, and the American people deserve to know the truth. Joe Biden never thought that the Oversight Committee would get this far in its investigation.
Because they're raggedy criminals. Most Democrats are. They do stuff because they're so used to getting away with it, and they think, oh, we all covering each other's back because we're all a part of the same crookedness. See? But unfortunately, they messed around and got some real pit bulls in to the Republican Party here, unlike the rhinos, that just won't let it go. They just won't let it go. So now all of a sudden, instead of everybody scratching each other's back, we got some people sniffing around. So they left all of the dirty laundry out because they're like, there's nobody to look at it. We're all dirty. We're all dirty. Oh, crap. We got some people who's coming over that ain't a part of the dirtiness. All right, clean it up. It's too late.
And additional damning evidence will soon be revealed to the American people. This leads me to my next point.
What?
The Foreign Agents Registration Act, or commonly known as FARA. To be clear, Hunter Biden has never, and I repeat, never registered as a foreign agent, despite his lucrative work being done on behalf of foreign interests and his many travels on Air Force Two. And that wasn't just because he missed his dad.
So the crackhead took a little trip with Pops all over the globe and somehow made business deals with foreign agents every time he would fly on Air Force Two. Now, isn't that ironic? But Paul Manafort, he got locked up and stuff and all of that mess.
Specifically, Hunter has been documented business transactions with a Chinese government-based energy company called CEFC. Yeah. Interestingly enough, the same company, CEFC, is the same one that is affiliated with the company that sent $5 million to Hunter Biden. How is this not the definition of being and acting as a foreign agent? Paul Manafort was convicted for far less. The time is now to open up and impeach.
Somebody need to ask Garlic that. Somebody need to say, hey, why aren't you looking into this issue right here? Because look at the money and stuff. And then, do you think this equal? Because Paul Manafort, he got locked up for being a Trump supporter, basically. That's what that was. Locked up for being a Trump supporter.
Impeachment investigation pertaining to the president's direct link to blatant corruption, pay-for-play tactics, and acting as a co-conspirator to the crimes committed by his family on behalf of Joe Biden himself. The committee will continue to do our due diligence. We will not be worried about the distractions from the Democrats and from the press. We will dig through the confusing web of Biden LLCs, which I will add, Mr. Speaker, the confusion of these companies and the confusion of these transactions were done on purpose to conceal this money from the American people. And I will also add to conceal the money from the Internal Revenue Service. Because, you know, Joe Biden likes to talk about everybody paying their fair share except him and except his son.
All Democrats do that. All of them. Because, see, that's their MO to kind of connect with the common people by blaming the rich, who they all are as well. But they blame the rich for you being poor and say, they're not paying their fair share. Look, I relate to you guys. So then how about you pay your fair share? Who, me? Oh, no, I'm just identifying with the fact that they're not paying their fair share and stuff like that. Bernie Sanders, the 1%. The millionaires and billionaires. Until he became a millionaire, then it's just the billionaires. They're all hypocritical. So, Byron, close out.
They're not concerned about a fair share. We're going to continue to uncover all of this. And we're going to answer and uncover all of the information that is going to outline exactly why, in my opinion, representing the 19th District of Florida, why Joe Biden deserves to be impeached. Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States has taken money from foreign sources. Meanwhile, the world is on fire. Is the president compromised? Do agents in the Chinese government have the upper hand on the President of the United States while our enemies are on the move? These are serious questions that the House of Representatives has a responsibility to answer. And the way to get all that information is through the impeachment inquiry, which will continue here in the People's House.
My man. And the president is compromised on multiple levels. He's compromised cognitively because he don't know what the heck is going on. And he's compromised when it comes down to his corrupt dealings. He's compromised probably with these foreign countries and with our own bootleg agencies like the FBI. Joe is in a pickle. He can't do nothing, man. Because if the FBI want to drop the hammer on him, they can. They knew the guy was dirty. If China wanted to unleash information on him, they could. Ukraine, he probably got all kind of folks across the globe that's saying, hey, don't mess with us, because we will let everybody know just how creepy you really are. See? And that's what you get when you go ahead and sell your soul and become a corrupt, evil, funky, stinking politician like Creepy, Sleepy, Sleazy, Slimy, Sloppy Joe and others. Dang on it. So Byron, keep on trucking, man. Keep on trucking, baby. But remember, don't impeach him until like the last day in office. That's what I want to see. I want to see him waste his time trying to campaign to win another election and get embarrassed in front of everybody. That's what I want to see. Then impeach him, and then he needs to be charged. Charged. Him with mucus and the rest of them. So God bless y'all, America. Thanks for hanging out with me again tonight. I will be back tomorrow. So don't forget, if you want to help out with the channel by supporting my monthly fundraiser, the link is below this video. You can always do that. You can support the channel by liking my videos, sharing my videos. Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure your notification button is turned on to all. If you want to visit the Kevin's Corner merch store, please do so. And, you know, get something you like. All right. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. And tap that like button one more time before you go. Speaking of that, I got to do that myself. Oh, and subscribe to my other channel if you can, too. Stop and think about it. There we go. All right. God bless y'all. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Peace. Let's get out of here, Gizmo. Hey, where's Gizmo, y'all? He's all skinny. Yeah, all skinny. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. Take care. Oops. Put him down a little too hard.